I kicked my daughter out for bullying her autistic brother and his friends. 3 months later, something unexpected happens. I'm Elaine, 42F, married to Mark, 44M, for 18 years now. We have 3 kids, twins Zach, 16M, and Lily, 16F, and our youngest, Ethan, 12M. Our family life has always been a bit of a roller coaster, especially since Zach was diagnosed with autism at age 5. From a young age, Zach has been different from other boys. While most kids his age were into sports and video games, Zach preferred art, fashion, and musicals. He could spend hours sketching costume designs or singing along to Broadway soundtracks. His room is a colorful explosion of artwork, vintage clothing, and musical memorabilia. Lily, on the other hand, has always been more conventional. She's into sports, particularly soccer, and has a large group of friends. She's outgoing and popular, the complete opposite of her twin brother. Growing up, this difference led to some tension between them, but nothing we couldn't handle with some patient parenting. Ethan, our youngest, often feels caught in the middle. He looks up to both his older siblings and tries to bridge the gap between them. He's into both sports and art, often joining Lily for soccer practice and then coming home to draw with Zach. Mark and I have always tried to support all our children equally, but I'll admit it's been challenging. Zach's autism means he often needs more of our attention, which has sometimes left Lily feeling overlooked. We've tried to compensate by attending all of Lily's soccer games and celebrating her achievements, but I fear it hasn't always been enough. Throughout elementary and middle school, Zach struggled to make friends. He mostly hung out with girls who shared his interests in art and fashion. Lily, meanwhile, was always surrounded by a group of friends. I often worried about Zach, hoping he'd find his place. Things changed this year when Zach joined the high school drama club. For the first time, he found a group of people who shared his passions. He made friends with a group of theater kids, including a boy named Jake, 16M. About 2 months ago, Zach came out to us as gay and told us Jake was his boyfriend. Mark and I were supportive, though admittedly a bit worried about how others might treat him. To our surprise, Jake's friend group welcomed Zach with open arms. They started coming over to our house regularly, and we were thrilled to see Zach finally feeling like he belonged. Lily's reaction to Zach's coming out was mixed. She said she was happy for him but seemed uncomfortable with the idea of her brother dating a boy. We had several family discussions about acceptance and love, and I thought we were making progress. Last weekend, Jake and a few other boys from the drama club, Chris, 16M, and Alex, 17M, came over for a sleepover. They were in Zach's room, laughing and having fun. I overheard them discussing costumes for their upcoming play, the importance of being earnest. Zach was excitedly showing them his collection of vintage brooches, which he planned to use for costume design. Everything seemed fine until Lily walked by Zach's room. She stopped, looked inside, and started laughing. "Oh my God, you guys are such losers," she said. "Who talks about sparkly pins on a Friday night? Don't you have anything better to do?" The boys ignored her, but Lily didn't stop. She began making exaggerated theater gestures and speaking in a mocking, high-pitched voice. "Oh, darling, this brooch would look simply marvelous with your tutu." I hurried upstairs and told Lily to go to her room immediately. I apologized to the boys and assured them they hadn't done anything wrong. They seemed okay, but I could tell Zach was embarrassed. His face was red, and he wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. After making sure the boys were all right, I went to talk to Lily. She was sulking in her room, scrolling through her phone. When I tried to discuss her behavior, she brushed it off, saying she was just joking and that Zach and his friends needed to lighten up. I was about to respond when I got a text from my sister, Rachel, 39F. She said Lily had posted a video on her Instagram story, secretly recorded through Zach's bedroom door. The video showed the boys examining Zach's brooches, with Lily's commentary calling them prissy and girly boys. I was furious. Not only had Lily bullied her brother and his friends to their faces, but she had also humiliated them online. I demanded she take down the video immediately, which she did, but the damage was already done. I called Rachel and asked if she could take Lily for the night. Rachel agreed, saying she'd talk to Lily about her behavior. Rachel has always been great with the kids, and as a high school teacher, she has experience dealing with bullying situations. When I told Lily she was going to stay with her aunt, she threw a massive tantrum. She screamed that I was choosing Zach's weird friends over her and that it wasn't fair. She accused us of always favoring Zach because of his autism. I stood my ground, telling her that her behavior was unacceptable and she needed time to think about her actions. As Lily was packing an overnight bag, I went to check on Zach and his friends. They were subdued, the earlier excitement gone. Zach asked if Lily really posted a video of them online. When I confirmed it, he looked devastated. Jake put an arm around him, and I felt a mix of sadness for Zach and gratitude that he had such supportive friends. After Lily left with Rachel, I sat down with Zach and his friends. I apologized again for Lily's behavior and asked if they wanted to talk about it. They were quiet at first, but eventually opened up. Jake mentioned that they often faced this kind of teasing at school, but he never expected it from Zach's sister. Chris admitted he was worried about what people at school would say if they saw the video. Alex, the oldest of the group, tried to lighten the mood by suggesting they use the incident as inspiration for a dramatic monologue in their next drama class. The next day, my mother called, berating me for abandoning Lily. She said it was normal for teenagers to tease each other and that I was overreacting. She also suggested that maybe Zach should try to fit in more with normal boys. I was shocked by her words and ended the call quickly. Mark, who had been away on a business trip, returned home that evening. After I filled him in on what happened, he agreed that we needed to take serious action to address Lily's behavior. We decided to wait until she returned home to have a family meeting. Now, I'm standing firm in my decision to send Lily away for the night, but I'm wondering if I went too far. Did I overreact to typical sibling teasing? Should I have handled the situation differently? Ida for sending Lily away for the night? Edit. Thank you all for your responses. I've read through them and appreciate the support and advice. I'll post an update soon after I've had a chance to talk things through with Lily and Zach. Update 1. It's been about a week since the incident, and I wanted to provide an update on the situation. A lot has happened, and I'm still processing everything. The day after Lily returned from Rachel's, Mark and I sat down with her for a serious talk. We explained why her actions were hurtful and unacceptable. Lily initially tried to defend herself, saying she was just joking around and that Zach and his friends were too sensitive. We didn't let her off the hook. We reminded her of past incidents where she'd been hurt by others' jokes and asked her to imagine how she'd feel if someone had done the same to her. We brought up a specific incident from last year when a group of girls had made fun of Lily's soccer uniform, calling her butch and suggesting she should try out for the boys' team instead. Lily had been devastated by those comments, and we hoped reminding her of that experience would help her empathize with Zach. Slowly, we could see her starting to understand. She admitted that she hadn't thought about how her words and actions might affect Zach and his friends. She'd also confessed that she'd been feeling left out lately, as we'd been spending a lot of time helping Zach adjust to high school and his new friend group. As a consequence, we've taken away Lily's phone and social media privileges for a month. We've also required her to write sincere apology letters to Zach and each of his friends. She wasn't happy about it, but she agreed. We then had a separate conversation with Zach. We wanted to make sure he felt supported and safe in his own home. Zach admitted that Lily's behavior had been hurtful, but he was more worried about how it might affect his friendships. He was afraid that Jake, Chris, and Alex might not want to come over anymore, or worse, that they might not want to be friends with him at all. We assured him that true friends wouldn't let Lily's actions come between them. Zach also opened up about some of the challenges he's been facing at school. While the drama club has been a safe haven for him, he still encounters bullying in other classes. He hadn't told us before because he didn't want to worry us, but now he felt like he could share. This revelation made us realize we need to be more proactive in checking in with both our kids about their school experiences. The next day, Jake and 2 other boys from the drama club came over. Lily read her apology letters to them. The boys were gracious about it, even though you could tell they were still a bit uncomfortable. Jake, in particular, impressed me with his maturity. He told Lily that while her words had hurt, he appreciated her apologizing and hoped they could move past it. Jake shared a bit about his own coming out experience, which had been difficult for him. His parents weren't as accepting as we had been with Zach, and he faced a lot of bullying at his previous school. He explained that comments like Lily's brought back painful memories for him. Lily seemed genuinely moved by Jake's story, and I could see her starting to understand the impact of her words on a deeper level. However, things took an unexpected turn when Chris pulled me aside. He seemed nervous and asked if he could talk to me privately. Once we were alone, Chris revealed something that left me stunned. He told me that Lily had been sending him flirty messages for weeks, even though she knew he was gay and in a relationship with Alex. Chris showed me some of the messages, and they were indeed inappropriate. She had been complimenting his appearance, suggesting they hang out alone, and even hinting that she could change his mind about being gay. Chris said he hadn't wanted to cause drama, but Lily's recent behavior made him feel he needed to speak up. I was floored. Not only had Lily been bullying her brother and his friends, but she had also been pursuing one of them despite knowing he was unavailable and uninterested. It suddenly cast her actions in a whole new light. Was her bullying an attempt to push Chris away from Zach and his friends? Was it jealousy? I had so many questions. I thanked Chris for his honesty and assured him we would address the situation. After the boys left, I confronted Lily about the messages. She burst into tears, admitting that she had a crush on Chris and thought if she could just get him to give her a chance, he might realize he liked girls after all. We had a long, difficult conversation about respect, boundaries, and accepting people for who they are. Lily seemed genuinely remorseful, finally understanding the full impact of her actions. She admitted that she'd been struggling with feelings of confusion and jealousy. Seeing Zach so happy with his new friends and boyfriend had made her question her own identity and place in the family. This conversation made Mark and me realize that we'd been so focused on supporting Zach through his coming out and his autism-related challenges that we'd neglected to check in with Lily about her own feelings and experiences. We promised to make more of an effort to spend one-on-one time with her and to create space for her to talk about her own struggles and questions. Moving forward, we've decided that family counseling might be beneficial. We want to address not just this incident, but the underlying issues that led to it. Lily has agreed to participate, which I see as a positive step. We've also started looking into LGBTQ+ youth groups in our area. We think it might be helpful for both Zach and Lily to connect with other teens who are exploring their identities or learning to be allies. I'm still processing all of this, and I know we have a long road ahead. But I'm cautiously optimistic that we can use this as a learning experience for everyone involved. We're committed to fostering a home environment where all our children feel loved, supported, and free to be themselves. I'll update again if there are any significant developments. Thank you all for your support and advice through this challenging time. Update 2. It's been about a month since my last update, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. It's been invaluable during this challenging time. The family counseling sessions have been eye-opening. Our counselor, Dr. Martinez, helped us uncover some deep-seated issues that we hadn't realized were affecting our family dynamics. It turns out Lily has been struggling with feelings of inadequacy and invisibility, especially compared to Zach, who often requires more attention due to his autism. During one particularly emotional session, Lily broke down and admitted that she felt like we loved Zach more because we were always praising his artistic talents and making accommodations for his needs. She confessed that her bullying behavior was partly driven by jealousy and a misguided attempt to get our attention. This revelation hit Mark and me hard. We had always tried to treat our children equally, but we realized we might have unintentionally made Lily feel less important. We've been working on finding ways to celebrate Lily's unique qualities and ensure she feels seen and valued. We've started having regular Lily and Dad and Lily and Mom days, where we do activities she enjoys. Last weekend, Mark took her to a soccer match, and the weekend before, I took her shopping for new cleats and we had a long chat over ice cream. These one-on-one times have already made a noticeable difference in Lily's demeanor. As for Zach, he's been incredibly understanding throughout this process. He even suggested that he and Lily try to find a hobby they could do together, to help rebuild their relationship. They've started taking a cooking class on weekends, and it's been wonderful to see them bonding over something they both enjoy. Last week, they made a complicated lasagna recipe together, and the pride on both their faces when they served it to us was heartwarming. The situation with Chris has also improved. Lily wrote him a heartfelt apology letter, acknowledging that her behavior was inappropriate and promising to respect his boundaries in the future. Chris appreciated her honesty and told her he'd be happy to be friends if she could treat him and his boyfriend with respect. Lily has also been attending the LGBTQ+ youth group we found. At first, she was reluctant, but after a few sessions, she's really opened up. She's been learning a lot about different identities and experiences, and it's helping her become a better ally to Zach and his friends. However, just as things seem to be looking up, we hit another bump in the road. Last week, we discovered that some of Lily's old friends had been pressuring her to distance herself from Zach and his weird theater friends. They told her that hanging out with them would ruin her social status. Lily, to her credit, stood up to these friends and told them she wouldn't choose popularity over her brother. She even invited Zach and his friends to sit with her at lunch one day, which was a huge step for her. Zach was touched by this gesture, and it seems to have brought them closer. This led to some of Lily's old friends spreading nasty rumors about her at school. They've been saying she's turned gay and is dating one of Zach's friends. It's been tough for her, but she's handling it with surprising grace. She told us that going through this experience has made her realize how hurtful bullying can be, and she's determined not to be that person anymore. We're incredibly proud of the growth Lily has shown, but we know there's still work to do. We're continuing with family counseling and also looking into some peer support groups for both Zach and Lily. On a positive note, Zach's play, The Importance of Being Earnest, opened last week. The whole family attended, including Lily, who helped with some last-minute costume adjustments backstage. Seeing Zach shine on stage, surrounded by supportive friends, and knowing that Lily was there cheering him on, felt like a major milestone for our family. We're taking things one day at a time, but I feel hopeful about the direction we're heading. There's still a lot to work on, but seeing our kids support each other and stand up for what's right gives me faith that we're on the right path. I'll post another update if anything significant happens, but for now, we're cautiously optimistic about the future. Update 3. It's been about 3 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on how things have progressed. The biggest news is that Lily has undergone a remarkable transformation. The girl who once bullied her brother and his friends has become one of their fiercest defenders. It hasn't been an easy journey, but her commitment to change has been inspiring. Last month, Lily's school put on a production of Hairspray, which Zach and his friends were heavily involved in. Lily surprised us all by volunteering to help with makeup and costumes. She spent hours working alongside Zach, learning about stage makeup and helping to bedazzle costumes. It was heartwarming to see them laughing together as they attached sequins to a particularly flamboyant dress. On opening night, some of Lily's former friends tried to stir up trouble. They made some snide comments about the theater geeks loud enough for everyone to hear. Without missing a beat, Lily stood up and loudly proclaimed how proud she was of her brother and all the hard work the cast and crew had put in. She then invited anyone who wanted to make fun of the show to leave. The bullies, not expecting this reaction, skulked away. Zach was moved to tears by Lily's defense. After the show, he hugged her tightly and thanked her for being there for him. It was a beautiful moment that showed how far they've come. As for Chris, he and Lily have developed a genuine friendship. Lily has fully accepted his relationship with Alex and often hangs out with both of them. She's even started using her social media to promote LGBTQ+ acceptance at school, sharing resources and personal stories from the youth group she attends. Ethan, our youngest, has also benefited from the improved family dynamics. He's no longer caught in the middle of Zach and Lily's conflicts and seems more relaxed and happy. He's been joining Zach and Lily for their weekend cooking sessions, turning it into a full sibling bonding activity. Mark and I have learned a lot through this experience too. We've made a conscious effort to balance our attention between all our children. Our regular one-on-one days with each kid have continued, allowing us to focus on their individual interests and needs. Last week, I attended one of Lily's soccer games, and the pride on her face when she scored a goal and saw me cheering in the stands was unforgettable. Family counseling has been incredibly helpful, and we plan to continue for the foreseeable future. Dr. Martinez has given us tools to communicate better and address issues before they escalate. We've started having weekly family meetings where everyone gets a chance to share their thoughts and feelings in a safe, supportive